Hi everybody, this here video is going to be a long one. I had too much little knickknacks to throw together, and somebody's been on me a little bit to do a live video, so I'm going to stack all this together instead of making it 2 videos, and so that way I can do the live video maybe Sunday or something. But there's a thin board. They're on this 4/4. I come down and check them out this morning. We sped the saw cycle up a little bit. If anybody's in the know, if you're not in the know, don't tell me you'll send me down the wrong direction. But if you're in the know, and I know I didn't show the blades, you can't see gullet size or nothing like that like you need to, but I think I've got this saw cycling about as fast as I can for thick stock. And when we run the 4/4 through what we're doing now, there's some thick and thin in this. That's why I had a misfeed. I'm hoping the saw blade ain't running too fast for thick stock, but we'll just have to see. There's some 4/4. It's doing 4/4 good now, but when we go to thick stock, I'm hoping that's not too fast. That's almost too fast. This saw's got to you know what I ought to do? Get a more aggressive blade. What am I thinking? I just now thought of that doing this. Now we're going to go out to the job and check on the job. Alright, we're out here walking the job. This is on ground that's been run over one trip before this last rain. Last rain was only 1/2 inch. Let's see. Let me come up this way. Well, we're down to 3 days production. It'd be 3 full heaping days of production. Could probably move this back end out. But to do it, we have to bring our A game. And we can't go skidding around the long way through the deep mud. We're gonna have to pick a road up high on a hill, which I'm kind of torn at that. We can't decide just yet on that. There's somebody's deer honey path. I hope we don't get shot in here. We're still on our landowner. Well, I hope nobody shoots my ass this morning. I like my ass. I don't want it shot. But most deer don't walk around with flashlights. Alright. And I don't have a stitch of reflective clothing on me. Or high vis, nothing. And I don't know if I'm on our landowner or the neighbor. I'm gonna need to figure that out, because I don't think he wants us getting across him. I've been getting a few comments lately on me being grumpy or being boring past few weeks. I got a lot going on. And it's hard to freaking, bless America. It's hard to freaking get in there and just be a good logger way, come on. But here's our issues. We are 40 truckloads to get out. And this is what we're dealing with. Next week, we're getting more. And it's a long ways back here. It's a narrow, long strip across a bunch of little ditches. Son of a... And I got my daggone shop boots on, and I can't walk in this mud in these shop boots. Oh, so look at her. Look at that puddle. Yeah, baby. There's a gator in there. Stevie, go get... Stevie, why don't you go noodling for gators? Stevie. I don't know what we're going to do. We're going to do something, because today is the day we're going to shit or we're going to get off the pot. Your decision. We're going to get off the pot. That's what we're going to do. We are moving out, boys. What's going on is we can't finish in this next weather pattern. Next week we got more rain coming in, and we'd have to push like crazy to try to get it done by Sunday night, late before the rain got here. And even at that, it's a gamble. And at this point, look at the ground. We ain't making no gambles. We're gonna put some temporary water bars in this hill so the erosion don't run all the way down the bottom. We'll get this out in this leaf litter like there and leave her set, and we'll come back next year when it's drier, and we'll push our water bars out, log the rest out, and then throw all these sides back in and put this dirt back where it goes. So So we're temporary and we're out of here. We're down here in this bottom. This is where we cross the ditch on our first setting, going up the other ridge, which basically the other ridge up ahead of the bucket is it had a hayfield at the top, and we wrapped around that hayfield with timber on both sides, down the drainages, on the hillside of the drainages. But the other day when we come out, we ran out of time, and I didn't get down there and get the crossing pulled out. But since we're going to leave this job, I better get this crossing pulled out and this ditch cleaned up, so it's prepped. And next week there is some handwork down the ditches as far as ditch clean out, which is minimal, but there's some. And we might have to, somebody might have to come up and do that. I don't know. It depends on whether they'll let that slide till next year or whatever, or be all anal retentive about it, you know. You know, it depends on what they... Now, I mean, the ditch is mostly cleaned out. I cleaned it all out the den, but there's some hand pickers in there just a little bit, but it's a minimal amount. But I'm getting this wood out. See, you put the wood down first in the crossing, so that way water can run through it, you know, and you put your mud across the top, so that way you ain't beating up and thumping up on your butt going across it, you know, so it rides decent. And I'll take all this scrap that's busted up, and I'll use it, I'll crush it down in there with my cleats, so that way it serves as a wooden dam there, to where all that silt that makes it down, any silt that makes it down off that hill will hit that wood and stop and not run down in the, go ahead and run down in the ditch. And the road off to the right behind me, when I swing over and dump my dirt, that road is going to be, I got some cedar trees and throwed in it to stop the silt from falling down that one. And then now I'm separating wood and dirt, and just trying to separate stuff out to get it to where it's organized and ready to make it somewhat presentable so it can last when we get back. There's the ditch coming down. We got cleaned up. We're setting all this stuff up here, and it'll keep the water that comes down these tracks away from it. It'll shoot it off into that side or that side, but most it'll pull and catch the sediment right here. And the sediment will sit here until we get back next year. That's the idea. Any sediment that comes off that hill is to catch it right here where the den setting and not let it in there. It looks rough, and the landowner ain't gonna like looking at it, but it's what it's got to do. That's its job. I might better get another dip. I can't see sitting in the den seat. I got another dip to get right there, and I'm gonna pull up out of here, and then we'll start camouflaging this in, son. Make it look a little better. It took a little longer than I expected. It took over an hour to get up here. I figured I'd have it done in 20 minutes to a half hour, but just took a little bit to get all the dirt where it goes. But this is roughed in because we're going to bust it back open next summer probably. But I got all the water bars down through there cut, and she's thrown back where she can melt in okay. And the part I love about the den, you know, when you got the big sides, y'all seen the skidding vidges. You know, I had my camera sitting right up here the other day for the skidding vidge, shining down here. You seen how bad it was. But that ain't bad. And when we get done this summer, we'll take a dozer and get it all blended perfect, and then put our water bars back in, and you know, you throw your water in the treetops and blah 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 down through there. It should be okay. But this is good enough for a throw-in job. Now I ain't got much time. I'm busting my butt. No. I'm gonna go in there and get on the dozer, and I ain't gonna slop around this stuff. I might slop around a little bit on the way out, turn a little bit. If it turns out dry as this, I might take a blade and back drag it to the bulldozer so it looks decent. If the landowner shows up, he ain't gonna see it looking too daggone rough. They're working on, Ricky P and Robin's working on getting the boom out. We are getting out of here. I got one thing to say to this hillside, and that's it right there. Yeah, all right, I'll edit that out.
Now just look at this. This is what I love about working out in the country. Look at this. Look at this old boy right here. This happens all the time. He sat back there and stopped and waited when he seen us coming. Now, I'm going to say this. Anybody out there that's driving four-wheeler down the highway, thank you. If you're smart like that, thank you. It makes things go good. And if you are a truck driver watching this, do not forget that when somebody does something like that nice for us, wave, give them a thumbs up, do something to acknowledge the fact that we respect the fact that they respect us. And that'll keep this thing a-going. I'm gonna hurry because it's getting dark, but we got every piece in here. We had a couple logs there we brought in with that, and Buncher's back there, and there's the Den, and Stevie, and them guys, they lined up all the skidders. So there's the skidders, and I parked by the Big Daddy's old dozer, so there's both dozers, all the skidders, Den, Buncher, all the tires, inventory, and the knuckle boom, and all the trucks are here too. I'll tell you what we'll do. We'll take a look over here. All the veneering logs is laid out. One of the best bunches of veneer logs we ever laid out. Probably not the biggest bunch, but one of the best bunch. There's the waller nuts there. She's got a couple different lots up there of them. Cool. But they're looking at them and they go, old boys are in here bidding on them. White oaks up right now, so that's good. So everything's good there. There's old green weenie over there. The old farter truck. That thing's about shot. That was my first equipment purchase. Was that green weenie. We used it for years. I was a kid. That was my first. Big Daddy let me buy it, and the mill bought it off of me, and I made about what, $400 over time. They how did that work? I had the cash, so I bought it. I bought the farter truck, and then they bought it to me from me for payments, and I made interest money on it, which was cool, because I think I was still in school. That was my first equipment deal. Was a little green weenie. Then over the years, they've again, he's used my credit from time to time. That's Willie. You left your radio on. I'll shut his radio off. Instead of paying that out to a bank that ends up on Wall Street, that ends up wherever that ends up, but nowhere where you can see it. And if you borrow your money from the family and pay your interest money to family, it just helps the next generation or others in the family, you know. Grandpa Carter started that stuff, or that's how Dad got started. Family helped him get started. That's how he did in the beginning. And there's little Stevie backed in there. There's the loader. Stevie, you're supposed to move the loader today instead of driving a skidder through the mud around it. And again, his grinder's all packed up for the year. Oh, and Whitey's left out. Do you think Genny knows that Whitey's left out? I better lock that. And whose old dump truck? That's Eli's truck, I think. He must have parked it to move something. He must be coming after it tomorrow. Make sure this thing's locked up. I bet it ain't. Oh, heck no. See, I censored myself. Heck no. What the heck? And there's kitty cat. What do you think, kitty kitty? We got a bunch of iron sitting around, but we ain't got no wood sitting around. Oh, and last but not least, there's pudding. I forgot that. The biggest machine in the place. Whole pudding. All right, here we go. It's been another late night. I think it's like 8 o'clock. I'm getting ready to go home. I got the drawings done. This is how it turned out. They're gonna work good. Mommy helped me do the, actually take measurements on the building. And this is not real scaled out. But this kind of shows you, this is our building layout. We done that today. And here's how your bunk's set. So you got your FAS, your 1 common, 2 and 3, thick stock, and some trash bunks. And then at the end of our line, we usually pack a cart there, so we have a aisle way to roll cart out, you know, with plenty of room. Maybe even have 2 carts there, 2 junk carts there. And anybody that's got any questions on that, I know there's a couple sawmillers there. Al, you get to watching this, and let's see, let me get this down here. There, I put it down where you see it. Al, Real McCoy, you get to watching this. The only thing that messes this up would be maple. Or you know that I know of would be maple with your ND and your AD. But our maple only goes to 12 foot. So you don't need 5 sorts each. So we can finagle around and get it to where, you know, we still have our, you know, our dadgum plenty to do the AD and ND. So, and that's that. So now, oh, tomorrow, I'm still hours behind. Tomorrow, here's my little file, with my folder I got started here for this project. So tomorrow, what I'll do is I'll have to get my cut bill made and my order sheets made. And I used to use, what do they call it, Microsoft Word or whatever on this doodad. But I lost my little printer. If I get something hooked up, maybe I'll do it in, what do you call it, boys? Anyway, maybe Word Perfect Expert. I don't know. Perfect Expert. That's exactly what I am right there, Stevie. Right there, my freaking perfect expert. It says it right there on the computer, Stevie. I can't believe he keeps doubting me and my profound experience. No, I'm about my head. I've had a headache all day. And here's the grading room. There's our even in line. And there's the beginning of the even in rows coming out of the double end trim. And here is some of the old, there's where we put our edger in. It's a base drawings on the, and there's the McDonough. But I got, and there was a drawing. There's all kinds of, this here's, usually what I do is I end up drawing on this page because it's got all my limits and line types. Oh, this was the, what the hell that was. I got everything on here. I got the hog down below. I got the sunbucking, it was a doodad for the barn cleaner years ago. And here's the, some shotgun rough drawings. And here's the steps of my house. Usually I draw something on here and then I move it over to somewhere. This ain't technically the sawmill layout drawing. Here's the what little bit I got of the hog project coming out from the chipper. What else we got? There's more hog stuff. I just got a little bit of everything on this file. But eventually I'll get to where I about got everything drawn on the mill, or getting close to where I can put it all in one layout. But it take, you know, get my building layouts and stuff like that. That's a lot of time though. And, I mean, I have a hard time finding time to do all that good mess. But, well, let me get the hell out of here and get my butt home to my babies. They'll be in bed when I get there. Hey everybody, thanks for watching. And don't forget to hit the buttons and leave me likes, comments, stuff. Let me know what's up. And to anybody's wanting Logger Wade gear, go to loggerwade.com and help yourself at the shop there. And we got all that good mess. Take care of it. And mostly just want to say thanks, everybody. Hope everybody has a good one later on.